the forgotten genius Thomas David Petite, Native American inventor. When history books list the great inventors of the modern era, we hear names like Edison, Bell, or Tesla. But rarely do we hear the story of Thomas David Petite, a Native American visionary whose work helped lay the foundations of the connected world we live in today. Petite, a proud member of the Fond du Lac Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa, was more than just an engineer. He was a dreamer who saw possibilities others could not, reshaping the way humanity communicates in the digital age. His story is one of brilliance, resilience, and neglect, a tale that reveals how often society overlooks indigenous voices in technology. Before we dive deeper, don't forget to like and subscribe Yahweh Stories for more true history they never teach in school. These are the stories that change how we see the world, and Petite's journey is one you won't find in your average classroom. In the 1990s, long before the phrase smart cities or Internet of Things existed, Petite was working on an idea that sounded like science fiction: wireless mesh networking. Imagine a web of devices, each connected directly to others, creating a self-healing network. If one link went down, data simply flowed through another route. The concept was radical at the time, yet today it underpins disaster response, battlefield communications, smart grids, and even the gadgets in your home. Petite wasn't just predicting the future, he was building it. Over his career, he filed more than 100 patents in this field. These envisioned systems that allowed phones, sensors, and machines to keep talking, even if towers or hubs failed. It was technology that could save lives in emergencies and expand connectivity where traditional networks could never reach. Petite co-founded SIPCO, a company that sought to commercialize this innovation. But despite the groundbreaking potential, money was scarce. Big corporations with deep pockets developed similar systems, and the crushing cost of defending patents left Petite fighting uphill battles he could never fully win. His ideas spread, but his name was left behind. The tragedy of Petite's story is not only personal but cultural. For Native American inventors, barriers to recognition run deep. Systemic neglect, limited access to capital, and the invisibility of indigenous contributions meant Petite's genius was rarely celebrated. While billion-dollar companies thrived on mesh applications, the man who imagined them remained in the shadows. It's a stark reminder of how innovation can be erased when it doesn't fit the narrative society expects. Yet his fingerprints are everywhere. When earthquakes knock out infrastructure and survivors still communicate, mesh is at work. When power grids balance loads and prevent blackouts, mesh quietly keeps electricity flowing. When soldiers rely on tactical radios without towers, Petite's vision keeps signals alive. And when your smart thermostat talks to your Wi-Fi speaker and phone seamlessly, it's his idea in action. What makes Petite's story even more powerful is what it represents for Native American history. Indigenous communities have always been innovators through agriculture, architecture, and ecological management. But in modern times, their role in shaping technology has often been erased. Petite's achievements prove Native minds have not only preserved traditions, but also propelled humanity into the future. His work challenges the myth that innovation comes only from a narrow group of voices. Recognition for Petite came late and often quietly. Academic circles and patent historians acknowledge his role, but the mainstream public remains unaware. That lack of awareness is not just an oversight, it's a loss. Because celebrating inventors like Petite widens our understanding of history, showing that genius knows no boundaries of race or culture. It reminds us that the connected world we live in today rests on contributions of those denied the spotlight. As technology advances, Thomas David Petite's story becomes even more urgent. In a world that runs on constant connectivity, it's worth asking, who do we remember and who do we forget? Why are some names etched into textbooks while others are buried in fine print? And what might we lose when we fail to recognize the diversity of minds that shape progress? The legacy of Thomas David Petite is not just about wireless mesh networking. It's about justice, representation, and truth. His story reveals how one person's vision can ripple across the entire globe, even if that person is denied the credit they deserve. The next time your phone connects without a tower, or your devices communicate seamlessly, remember the Native American inventor who dreamed it possible decades before the rest of the world caught on. Like and subscribe to Yahweh Stories 444 for more stories of pioneers' history nearly erased. By keeping these names alive, we reclaim the truth.